Bearcat Bounce Podcast, back at it again. It's a Monday. We're back again on a Monday, not a Tuesday, not a rainstorm filled weekend leading to need to be pushed to Tuesday, but yet again, it is a rainstorm nasty weekend, if you will, leading to a Monday night. It's a little bit later in the night for the BBP, which would explain why it is a little nasty if you want to roll that way. But when it comes down to it, it's another Monday where we get to rehash, talk, literally go wall to wall coverage on everything Bearcats to the point where we are talking about former Bearcats who are making a move in a tournament where they have the potential to win $1 million all to the team at once. It's also a Monday where we will chat more about the upcoming NFL season as the Bearcats in the NFL, hashtag Bearcats in the NFL. Aaron, you started something there, is going to be a main topic that we touch on as well. Also a Monday where we get to bring in my guys, my pals. Only two of them so far, which means Aaron Smith, Ryan Royer. Gentlemen, how are we?
Doing all right. Glad to get this show on the road.
Yeah. I delay obviously for obvious reasons tonight. The TBT, the nasty natty head coach Kashmir Wright leading the squad to another victory. Regional champions, the regional in Norwood champions. They've got that court with an X in the middle of it, taking home that regional championship. Big win tonight. That's why we pushed back the game. Chad was at the game, so he will be back on the pod to rehash all of that. But we had to start because the room's gonna get busy, get buzzy, and we got to roll with it. So Ryan, how are we, man?
Doing good, man. Just happy to be here with y'all. Looking forward to chopping it up a little bit.
Little chopped and screwed. Aaron, how was the weekend?
It was good. We had Brennix's birthday party and got to see some family come out to Athens. Some for the first time since I've been out here, and some they've been out here before. So it was good.
Okay. Yeah, a little Brennix B Day. Any special cake or special dishes? Did you get the what's it called? The smash cake for young Brennix? Did she get
She
all
did.
in there? Yeah.
No, she just wanted the berries on top. She wasn't even into like making a mess. She just wanted the berries.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's
Um,
one of the joys of a youngster's birthday party is a smash cake, but also the drinks that you partake in as well. But it was just
yeah.
berries for old Brennix.
I mean, we had a smash cake. She just wanted the berries, like the berries that were on top. She wasn't interested in the cake itself very
Okay.
much.
Okay. Yeah, Royer, you'll see when it comes time for you that the kids' birthdays, 1, 2, 3 years old, you get invited to those. It's just a reason for adults to get together and kind of relive the glory days and throw back a few, and as the kids run around and make each other tired. So it's
Yeah,
something to look forward to, I guess. You get your
sounds good.
sister in there to make some smash cakes for the upcoming B days, but it'll be
Yeah,
fun.
you're telling me.
How was your weekend? Another Reds game? Did you go to or?
No, I was in Columbus this weekend. Saw my girlfriend. We just kind of like hung out, grilled out on Saturday with the boy Will Adams. He came
Hey,
over, grilled some burgers and chicken. It's a fun time. Then went saw my family on Sunday. It was my brother's birthday. I turned 23, so we got a little beef tenderloin my mom picked up from the Italian market and did her magic. It was a good little Sunday, but yeah, it was a solid weekend.
Debbie
Yeah,
on the ones and twos. Her birthday last week. Your brother's birthday
I
this
know,
weekend. All
crazy.
right, good for her. Keep the Royers in line. Gotta love that. Um,
Definitely.
but yeah, I mean, Chad will be here soon. He was there for the victory over Zip 'em Up, the old Xavier squad, and then, of course, there tonight for the victory over the program for autism, a team that had a lot of history of success in the TBT. We'll dive in, talk all about that when Chad gets here. But you know, for us three, we've got to do a little filibustering. And speaking of filibustering, sometimes you're driving in your car and you get a little filibuster going, and before you know it, you get your eyes off the road because you're just trying to fill in all this time with random words. and before you know it, you turn around and you rear end somebody, or you drive off and you hit the median, or your tire flies off. Well, you can head over to Danco Transmission now again. Get yourself fixed up. Ask for Danco Joe. Tell him Nasty Natty. Tell him Royer. Tell him Aaron. BBP. Get yourself a little fixing. $10 off your next oil change, or 10% off your next fixing to your car. Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Guys, not only was there a lot of excitement on the hardwood with this TBT tournament, obviously, but there's excitement because football is right around the corner. The big time NFL season is getting ready to get underway with a little training camp firing up this week. Players report tomorrow, if I believe, Royer. I'm sure Alec probably let you know that. And then Wednesday is when it does truly fire up. It's a lot of excitement going on for former Bearcats in the NFL. First off, Aaron, I gotta ask your hashtag Bearcats in the NFL.
Yeah.
Did you trademark that, or was it just free market?
I just started doing it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I was not the first one to do it,
Right.
but I'm certainly the most active in using that particular hashtag. So
It's because the recruiting department, they have latched onto that as well, taking it full steam ahead. So it's gonna raise a lot of excitement because not only there's not a handful of Bearcats in the NFL that you got to keep tracks on this year. It's right now heading into the training camp time. It is what was it? A total of I had it earlier. 31. There you go. 31 active Bearcats in the NFL. 31 on 20 different teams. Madden ratings, obviously, were all the stir last week. Travis Kelce in the 99 club. Sauce Gardner with a 93. And then you had him, a clip of him locking down Garrett Wilson. Another clip of him gifting a chain to Aaron Rodgers. Just
sauce them up.
Continuing to drip in the sauce, if you will. Desmond Ridder, the second lowest overall rated predicted starting quarterback in the entire NFL. Only a 70 overall for Dez. So only way to go is up for old Dez. But guys, it's training camp season. I know you guys are NFL fans, big NFL fans. There is a glutton of former Bearcats in the NFL. What I guess would be some of your favorite storylines that you're going to keep track of, especially with things starting to fire
up? Ryan, I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
These are all guys you used to play with, so
yeah.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to be looking out for my guy Alec, but I'm interested to see how Dez does. It's a big step, but I think it's something he's built for. I'm just kind of how Atlanta's been struggling. Not a lot of proven weapons, so I just am a little nervous for him, like to take some of the flack and some of the heat for maybe a team that isn't really ready to win yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a guy that can handle that, if there's a guy who can kind of will his team to win, it's Dez. So I am excited for him for that challenge because those are the kind of things he's built for and he loves. Obviously, Ahmad's going to be all over the socials. He's going to have another standout year. Might solidify himself as cornerback one if he does what he's supposed to do.
Hard knocks.
Yep. And with Rodgers and Garrett Wilson there, it's just going to be – I think that's going to be good for him in camp just to get good quality reps because Garrett Wilson's looking nutty. Aaron Rodgers is just going to be able to put the ball where it needs to be able to challenge him every single rep. So that'll be fun to keep up with. Excited to see what Josh Wiley does at Tennessee.
Yep.
Between Tannehill, Malik Willis, and Levis, there's going to be some quarterback competition. There's going to be some high octane offensive, like their offense. There's going to be three guys battling for a spot, so there's going to be guys looking to make plays all over the field. I'm wondering to see how Josh is going to fit in with that. And another guy I'm really looking for is Mailbag. I know another year under his belt in the NFL. I think that's only going to do him wonders. So kind of keeping up with him at camp and seeing how he's progressing, how they look to utilize him with no more J.J. Watt. So there's a lot of things going on. I'm excited.
Roy, I want to piggyback one quick question. So, obviously Desmond Ritter is all over social media and whatnot. A lot of people are either on one side or the other with Des. And, there's been a lot of current tape that people have broken down and said, it looks like Des can do all these things needed to do. But what do you think the confidence that other players on the team and that the coaching staff has openly talked about when it comes to Des, about how he's a winner, he's a leader? What does that do for a player, especially at the quarterback position, when you have that much backing? You block out all the noise on social media, but you have that much backing within the program itself. That's got to do nothing but wonders for the player.
Yeah, that's always good, having your teammates and coaches believe in you. But I think what makes Dez different is he kind of has those intangibles that I don't even think he would really need that in the first place. So I think that's only going to help him. But I think a guy like him, it would never be something he'd ever have to ride with in order to kind of see more fruits to his labor, so to say. But it's always good to see. But you're never gonna see guys on the team man, Dez is just sucking it up. I don't know if we're gonna win a game this year. So
Right.
But I think what really sticks out to me is his leadership, being complimented and being called a winner, and that's hard to do, being a second year guy, and you win the job, and guys are already thinking that stuff about you. So that's all pointing in the right direction for him. So that's definitely something that's abnormal, but it's not abnormal for what we're used to seeing.
Aaron, what you got?
There's a couple of matchups I'm looking forward to. Not matchups, I guess, but just to see how they develop this year. Marquise Copeland, as he's projected to be the starter alongside Aaron Donald. Excited to see how that transpires, as it seems like he's really gotten his legs under him at this point after winning a Super Bowl. Also excited to see what Jerome Ford looks like as potential running back 2 behind Nick Chubb, as long as it doesn't come at the expense of my Bengals.
Right.
But
the Brownies, baby.
all the same, still excited to see what happens there. Excited to see what who else? Oh, Darian Beavers can do coming off an injury, as there's already some injuries going on at the linebacker position in New York, and he has an opportunity to go back and try and he was projected to be a starter before his injury last year, but in the preseason, and he has the opportunity to try and win that back with some of the injuries that have already happened there in New York. I don't know. Excited to see what Kobe Bryant can do out in Seattle, if he can elevate himself on the depth chart there and make sure that he's staying on the 53 man rather than end up a practice squad guy or something like that. I believe they drafted at least a cornerback, if not 2, out in Seattle. So obviously Tariq has been a freak out there, and it's going to be hard to pass him up. However, I think there's an opportunity for him to be maybe the number 3 guy out there. So just those are some of the names in addition to what Ryan was looking forward to. Of course, you have the Bears and Tyler Scott there, and then the Raiders with Trey Tucker. Combined them. How about that? As they were inseparable anyway. But those are some rookies that I'm excited to see. In addition, of course, to Josh down in Tennessee. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys kind of touched on pretty much all of them, but I want to go back to Alec Pierce. Their year 2 with the Colts. They've been talking about him as a name to watch out for. Obviously, the pass catchers as a whole need to really take a step up. We're talking about Pittman, but then we're saying, once Anthony Richardson gets things going with the Colts and his deep ball is going to fit Alec Pierce's role perfectly. So that's going to be something to watch out for. I like Jerome Ford. I think the whole running back controversy, this, that, and the other kind of will start to pay its dues when you see, okay, Chubb's going to get a lot of the ball, can tote the rock a bunch, but Ford's going to start to make a name for himself and probably become a guy that someone's going to be like, okay, we can use this guy for a couple of years. I mean, Ryan, first off, what are your thoughts on the whole running back thing when it comes to the NFL? Is they're kind of just, yes, you have superstars, but you don't want to pay them superstar money. Instead, you'd rather just get someone else in there on a rookie deal that can maybe not produce to that high of a level, but still be serviceable, and then you don't have to pay him as much. You see Ford kind of being able to maybe get a shot on your brownies and show what he can do.
Yeah, I definitely what I think it needs to be when you look at the running back position is maybe you don't pay him as many years, but you're still paying him that yearly average of like a superstar production quality guy,
Right.
like your top wide receivers, your top quarterbacks. Maybe you can't be extending out like the Pat Mahomes type thing for like 10 years, but like maybe like a 2 year, like 20 million a year type deal. What did McCaffrey sign with? I can't remember. But it should be more of a short term thing where the guys are getting paid, they're guaranteed, but it's like 2-3 year contracts, maybe 4 or 5 max, but definitely not something like what you see with the longevity of like a quarterback or like an O lineman, because it just the reality of like the running back position, there's a high turnover due to injury, high turnover just for use, just the style of NFL. Like running between the tackles in the NFL is even crazier than college, and that's crazy in and of its own. So you're getting tackled every single play. You're getting hit. You have to pass protect. You have to run routes. You're just kind of putting yourself out there to take the most blunt force trauma than anyone on the field almost every single snap. So guys deserve their money, especially if they're producing, but maybe just shorten that contract down a little bit. I think that'd be a good median, but because guys deserve it. Like Derrick Henry is one of the produce, Christian McCaffrey produce, Austin Eckler produce, McCaffrey, like those guys all like the numbers don't lie. Like
Right.
they help you win football games. They help put points on the board better than anyone. So they deserve their money. I think it's kind of, but the other problem is the NFL has kind of created this like every sport now is just everyone's trying to one up each other and do these super max, all guaranteed. And at some point, the owners are like, well, we can't, like, this is going to reach a point of no return. So they're trying to put their foot in the ground. And I think guys like McCaffrey and Saquon and those guys, they don't deserve to be in the crosshairs. They're just getting kind of like stomped on for a bunch of money bullshit that the owners and GMs have kind of effed the whole league up across the board of professional sports. But we'll see. Yeah. It'll work itself out. Like Saquon will get paid. They'll get paid. Like, I don't think anyone's going to hold out or anything.
No, there's truly no reason to. I mean, Aaron, your thoughts on the whole quarterback thing? I mean, that's kind of been what the NFL has latched on to, or media has latched on to when it's come to the NFL heading into training camp.
Every year there's going to be somebody who's feeling slighted. I mean, you're already seeing guys on the Chiefs who have been asking for more money, as Chris Jones, the most recent player, who's saying that he needs to be paid more. He's going to hold out. So it's just rinse, wash, and repeat. As the cap grows, guys want to get paid more. And the running back position right now is a position that, because you only on average spend, I think the average is 3 years in the league. And I believe running backs is only 2. So that creates a chasm of difference in wealth between the running backs and every other position at this point. Right. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. There's going to be, once it's not this, it'll be something else where somebody else feels slighted in pay, and it's always going to be something. When you have a player agreement that I believe runs through 8 years from now or something like that. There's this early in an agreement, there's going to be gripes about somebody not feeling they're getting their fair slice of the pie. So it's another day in the NFL of storylines.
Just another day. It looks like at one point McCaffrey got a 4-year, a crazy contract from the Panthers. I kind of remember the Panthers were getting 4 years, $64 million contract with the Panthers. That's not quite happening anymore when it comes to running backs, but he's one of the special ones. So gotta love that. Just some other names. Obviously, Ivan Pace is someone to really watch out for. He gets a shot with the Vikings, see what he can do.
There too.
Yeah, Will Huber there as well, trying to get a spot. It'll be exciting to see that. And then of course Josiah DeGuara, another name. Royer, what was it like with DeGuara playing with him? I feel like he was a great dude. I mean, obviously
He was one of my better friends on the team when he was here. We used to hang out with him. Him and Ty Sponseller lived together, so we'd literally go there every single day. We'd go sit in that apartment. It was like me, him, Statty, Nick Statterman, Josiah, and then like Perry Young, Taekwon, Statham, Joel DeBlanco. We'd all, because we all lived there, we'd all just like filter in and out and just hanging out. But Josiah is literally one of the nicest, like best dudes out there. But just a grinder, just a hell of a football player. Effort, everything you'd want in a teammate, anything you'd want for your players if you're a coach. But so he's so dynamic too. Like he is like he can block, he can catch. He's the perfect use of an H back, and I think I've been waiting for him to kind of get his role expanded more and more, but I think he's been doing a great job. So the better you do, I guess maybe some opportunities will open up in camp for him as well.
I mean, he's the highest. He got the highest Madden rating for any tight end on the Green Bay Packers. So who knows? Maybe loving him will get a little connection going and see if he can't make any moves.
Him at camp, see how he's feeling.
You know what? We just had the fourth member join the squad. A little trip back from old Norwood, a little bit further away up north from where you live. But you know what? Without further ado, Mr. Chad Brendel, sir, how are we?
That was fun.
It was fun. Absolutely
fun.
A lot
of fun.
We've been holding out, waiting for you. We've been talking NFL. We'll get back to NFL, but
I was going to say, if we're going to do this, let's do it right. And if we're going to transition, we can at least transition with a proper
wrap
time.
This up with a bow though, and ask Chad what his.
I don't want to be talking NFL for 21 minutes and then talk about something else and then go to the NFL in like 40 minutes.
Right, and I agree. I'm saying let's wrap it up. So, Chad, your number one storyline for Bearcats the NFL heading into training camp to watch for.
I don't know. Is Sauce going to be the best cornerback in the NFL? Desmond Ridder as the starter for Atlanta, I guess, is probably the most prominent one, right?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Is this Jason Kelsey's last year?
Ooh.
Probably. I would guess probably.
He's still a great girl dad based on antics on the field. That's what I've seen for the
most. I mean, he's awesome, but like at some point in time with three little, young girls, like he's going to go be a dad. Like that's the natural progression of that thing. And I think they're going to, I believe the Eagles are going to have a bunch of really tough decisions after this year.
Yeah, I agree.
So that part will be interesting. Like, I think the reason he stayed last year or this year, they were basically able to run it back. Like pretty much that whole team is back. They didn't lose much. So why not come back and try to finish the job and get Super Bowl number 2? But I don't know. That'll definitely be interesting. Can Travis continue his path towards passing Gronk as the best tight end in NFL history? Yep. There's a bunch of storylines for Bearcats. Does Derek Forrest take another step? Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, baby.
He became one of the better safeties in the NFL. Can he take it even a notch higher and become one of the best safeties in the, one of the top 2, 3, 4 guys at the position?
Will Travis elevate himself to a point where him and Gronk aren't in the conversation as one? Which one's better?
B. Cook. Can B. Cook lock down a full-time starting role in the defensive backfield? Yeah. The 30 active former Bearcats on 20 NFL teams. That's a crazy statistic.
Remarkable.
Obviously, cuts will happen and whatnot, so that might not be the same number when it comes to each 53-man roster. But right now, heading into training camp, that's got to be out there with some of the other big-time college programs in the entire country. So
Most Bearcats ever.
yeah, it's crazy, and it's going to be fun. And that hashtag Bearcats in the NFL will be an active Twitter following. So I'm excited to lock into all those. But Chad,
It's not called Twitter anymore, Brent. Now it's X.
Yeah. What is that, by the way?
No one knows.
I'm so confused. I mean, it was
the ultimate human interaction experience, according to the boy Elon.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Someone posted, I think it was like Houston's non-conference basketball schedule or something, and game 1 was against Elon, and someone like underneath was like, "Whoa, I thought this was Zuckerberg's fight list when I first looked at it." But got a little chuckle out of it.
The X is already active on the web version on the computer, but it still says tweet if you want to actually send a message out. So
did he actually rebrand it to this X thing?
Yeah.
It's x.com now.
No way.
Or it's gonna be.
I don't know. It's still currently twitter.com, but I hear that there might be some issues because I read somewhere that Microsoft has the copyright on X. So
yeah,
who knows?
Good luck. But you know what? I'm sure he has the money to do whatever he wants to with that. So, but yeah, I mean that's talking Elon and X here on the BBP. But yeah, excited to see what happens when it comes to the NFL. Training camp firing up this week. Hard Knocks should be a fun watch, especially with old Sauce Gardner. Even though they're not going to show who gets cut, and that's kind of like the main thing of the final episodes of the season. But you know what? Good. Don't want to cry. Did that already at the Barbie movie last night. But Chad,
Jesus,
let's go ahead and timestamp this and get on to the real conversation that we have at hand.
Wait, you weren't an Oppen bro? You were a Bard bro?
You know what? I had the beautiful one wanted to attend a movie last night. And you know what? Big old bag of popcorn, extra large Diet Coke, and
oh yeah, dude, it's the best.
Pop
I
squat.
Love going to the movies.
I will give Barbie props though. It's
$65 later.
Yeah,
you're telling me. Oppenheimer is amazing.
You saw it?
Yes. You got to see it in IMAX though.
They've got one of those 70 millimeter IMAXs in downtown Indy, and so that's what. Yeah, I think that's where
I'm not that much. I'm a movie nerd, but not that crazy to go drive all the way.
Right. I think I might. I'm after.
Nolan's my favorite though, and this one delivers.
Okay.
It's like, but it's 3 hours long. So
yeah.
And
Barbie was good.
You got Josh Peck delivering the bomb.
Drake and Josh. Jeez, no spoilers, Royer.
Spoiler alert,
man. It's in the previews.
No spoilers, Royer.
Gosh. Hey, the guy that that the bomb it got made. That's the whole point of the movie. We dropped the bomb on Japan.
The boat sinks in Titanic.
Wait a minute. What?
The Titanic sinks, Brent.
What? No, I think we talked last episode that might not all be true. That might not all be true.
Josh goes to set the bomb off, but then Megan comes in.
Hey! For
Megan
real, no
Drake
spoilers.
And Josh comes in and she takes away the whole button.
He doesn't care about your spoilers, Brent. He doesn't care.
History was one of my worst subjects, so like this is all new news to me. So you know what? We can stop right there with the spoilers. You can come watch it with me in 70 millimeter IMAX, the way that he wants it to be seen, and we can enjoy it together. Large popcorn shared between the two of us, but you have to have your own Diet Coke. I'll have my own Diet Coke. Chad, go ahead and with the quick paper supply timestamp.
All right, that was Talking Movies here on Bearcat Journal. Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next-day deliveries, providing a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick, 513-470-2029, and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases. There we go.
Well. Your Nasty Natty comes back to beat Team Money Team, a squad who has had a good history in the TBT. Then they win an absolute thriller against Zip 'em Up on their own home court on Saturday night. And then they absolutely demolish one of the best teams in the history of the TBT, the Program for Autism, tonight. 76-51 to win the Xavier Regional. The guy who was there to take in all of it is the guy who's actually gonna tell us all about it as well. Chad, this has been one hell of a ride in the middle of freaking July.
Look, if you have Cincinnati across your chest right now, life is pretty good.
Yeah.
Life is pretty good if you got Cincinnati across your chest right now.
Hey.
I am going to officially dub honorary Bearcat status upon Marquez Letcher Ellis.
Woo!
Bearcat for life.
Saw the tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's from Cincinnati.
Kevin Johnson's his cousin.
From Cincinnati, Kevin Johnson's cousin.
Yeah.
With the Rice, Montverde.
He did his best. He did his best to down the drive tonight.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's not all the way there yet. He's not fully indoctrinated. But if you're a UC fan, like that was, Justin Jackson might as well have just been on the team. Like prime Justin Jackson might as well have been on the team because he was everywhere.
That's an excellent comp.
I mean, Chad, Mick Cronin would have offered this man immediately if this was an AAU tournament. I'm going to sit you in the back of that zone. You're going to block everything.
That was as a Bearcat can be in terms of defense and effort. Like that dude just plays his ass off every time he's on the floor. I mean, tracking down block shots, kind of hanging back on the weak side and coming out of nowhere. Yeah. Not the most skilled guy in the world, but that's okay. A little rough from the free throw line. He'll have to clean that up in Dayton next week.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was convincing today. I thought even if Jake and Jaron play like they've been playing, Program for Autism has always been so solid. They were the runner-ups last year. They got a bunch of really good veteran dudes, and they got pumped. I mean, they were averaging 89 points a game.
Yeah. Can we all agree that
the first two games?
Can we all agree that the Program for Autism is a way better name though than Autism Army?
Was that what they used to be?
That's what they were last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Way better name than Autism Army.
Yeah. Program for Autism. That's they classed it up a little.
I don't know who approved that one. Who stamped that one as okay, but
but came in 9-2 overall in the TBT tonight.
Yeah, I mean they were impressive every other year that they've been in it, and made deep runs, and they got smacked tonight. I mean, smacked. I mean they pushed it out to 10 early. They got it to 5, and they cut it back to 5, and it was like, all right, here we go. Now we're going to see the back and forth, and it's going to be a pretty competitive game. And then boom, next thing you know, it was 12, and then it was like 16. And Nasty Natty just like they're figuring out what works for them. The crazy thing to me, Troy Copain's not even looking to score.
Right.
Like he has been the ultimate facilitating point guard, getting everybody in the right spots, making sure that Jake and Jaron are getting fed. They ran some really good stuff, man. Like they ran a really good horn set where Mamadou hit Jake on a backdoor cut to the rim. They ran good stuff, like a down screen flat for Jaron coming right into the middle of the lane at like 12 feet. They did that a bunch at the end against Xavier, where they ran him shallow instead of normally on that down screen you run up like an elevator screen, and he was just cutting straight across the middle of the lane, hitting them with passes, and he's hitting little 8-footers right at the rim. Like I'm really impressed with Cash, man. I talked about it Saturday night. Cash, Kevin Johnson, Kane Broom, Kevin Ansenberger, they coached. Like that team was
their
coached.
ass off. Yeah.
I mean, they played really good, sound, fundamental defense. They had a plan for what they wanted to do to take away what the opponent was trying. I was impressed, man. That I've been really impressed these past 3 days with just the way that they played. Not that they won, but the way that they played was just super impressive.
And they aren't like yelling and bitching like the other coaching staff did. But anyway, outside of that, the talk a little bit more about Letcher Ellis. Just the ability that he has to come in off the bench after Coriante DeBerry started strong offensively. I mean, just that luxury of a absolute spark plug off the bench who helps out defensively, but he hit a massive 3-pointer on Saturday. It's a luxury that a lot of teams don't have. I feel like in this TBT situation, when you have athletic bigs, I mean, you saw the team tonight, Program for Autism, looked like a bunch of big bodies.
Oh, they looked huge in warmups.
Right.
Like we were talking about it underneath the basket in warmups. Like, damn, these guys are big. And you noticed it Friday or Saturday. They played the game before the summer shootout,
right?
And like they got some big, broad-shouldered, athletic dudes,
right?
And they couldn't do anything. Like they got the ball down low. It got stripped. They didn't get anything easy at the rim. They forced them to be a predominantly jump shooting team that took bad jump shots. And they made a couple, but they shot under 30% from three. It was like 27% when they got to the Elam ending.
Mm-hmm.
It was impressive defensively, the way that they took them out of. Well, the key was they didn't let them run. Like that was when you watched them on Saturday, it was like they are really good at rim running, getting out, filling the lanes, and getting the ball to the basket and getting easy looks, and then using that for kickouts once the defense starts collapsing. They never let them get any momentum, and part of the way you do that is by scoring.
Right.
You keep putting points on the board, and that keeps them out from ever finding that rhythm. But that was a good time.
Do you think Jacobin Brown hates Cincinnati? Ended his college career in the NCAA tournament where he scored 19 points and was arguably Texas's best player in that game. Now you end this little TBT run. Who knows? Wearing number 69 out there. Good old Jacobin Brown.
He was their best player.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's impressive that he's still. I mean, that dude's not young.
No,
he's been out of college 10 years.
Deion Dixon's age, yeah.
Yeah, with Deion and SK and those guys, he's their age, so he is not a spring chicken. But yeah, Marquez Letcher Ellis, that's my dude. That's a Bearcat. He earned his cat scratches, or he earned his Bearcat eyes, or he earned his he earned his sea paw.
Ooh, taken
Maybe
from the old.
We make that a thing. Like the Yankees, he earned his pinstripes.
Earned his stripes.
He earned his sea paw tonight.
That team down there, I mean, up there in Columbus, what do they say? They earn their O or whatever it is, or Buckeyes, or who knows. But anyway, talk a little bit more about. Well, first off, I want to pose a question. If Mick Cronin is still the head coach, Jaron Cumberland's senior year, does Jaron Cumberland finish first team All-American with a shot at National Player of the Year?
Maybe. I mean, it was still going to depend on his foot. Like he had the foot issue all through that summer. And never really, got right. Now, maybe if Mick's here, it's handled differently and managed a little bit different, and he's ready for the start of the season instead of delaying throughout the entire offseason. That was probably handled a little bit differently, but he was on track for that. Imagine if him and Jake came back for that year, if Mick returned and Jake and Jaron, like we're seeing it right now. It has been unquestioned. Unable to be questioned.
Yeah.
That they were the two best players on the floor in all three games.
Yeah.
They dominated.
Cincinnati came into that game, Nasty Natty came into that game having scored more than anybody, I believe, in all of the TBT, not just this region, so far in the tournament.
Jaron leads the tournament in scoring.
I think the whole team does.
Yeah.
No, because Program for Autism averaged 89 points a game.
Maybe the stat they read then was that these were the two top scoring teams in the TBT.
That was it, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, but Jaron's the leading scorer in the whole tournament. Like he has dominated, and nobody has been able to stay in front of him. He's gotten to the rim at will. He's gotten to the line at will. He's banged threes. Like he just has been an absolute force. And it's funny because these are grown ass men. Like, you're not playing against college kids anymore, where when you saw Jaren in college, it was like, this isn't fair. Like, he's a defensive end playing basketball.
Right.
And now he's playing against grown-ass men, and they still can't stop him off the bounce. They still can't stay in front of him. They still foul him, and he still puts the ball in the basket. He's freaking good, man.
He is. And he looks, like he's on a mission. I tweeted it earlier. It's like, it seems like Jaren is the Jaren of the AAC tournament in his junior year. Just kind of the try and stop me. I'm going to go through you, or I'm going to step back and splash one in your face. And his passes have been on point too. I mean, it's just everything that he's been able to do, and his defense, man. His ability to kind of just have that IQ and the help side come over with the strip, or when someone's getting ready to go up,
deflection,
near the basket, go. It's uncanny.
His hands in the passing lanes, and he probably tipped 3 or 4 balls out of bounds today that were headed for somebody at the rim, and next thing you know, like
this team definitely leads the TBT in deflections.
Oh, without question. Without question. I wonder if that's what we'll have to get Kev and ask who's tracking deflections on the sidelines.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if Mick's watching it at home, just enjoying some tasty,
having a nice
pop
cigar,
out there,
having a nice cigar and a bourbon.
This is
out on his pool deck.
This is what it looks like, rendered perfection. But yeah, I mean, Jaren and Jake, man, both of them just 20 points. Obviously, Jacob has 2 winners with the Elam ending, against Zip 'em Up, and then of course in this one, Jaren some massive threes at the end of the half in this game, and at the end of the half of the opening game against Team Money Team, because you remember Team Money Team was kind of building, had a 9
trying to pull
lead.
away.
Yeah, Jaren had a steal and then a 3 to bring him back within 6 heading into halftime. So massive.
They took over from there.
They did. And then, first off, I want to hear all your guys' thoughts on the Elam ending. I think it's
I love it for an event like this.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's perfect for an event like this.
Does Big 3 do Elam ending also?
I think somebody else does. I don't remember who. It's done somewhere else.
Big 3's like 1st to 21 or something. So
I agree with Chad. I love it in this setting in particular. I don't know though if I love the Elam ending more or the FIBA rules where there's no offensive goaltending.
Yeah.
Goaltending. You know what I didn't love was Saturday night's situation. Every foul during the Elam ending is 1 shot and the ball.
Yeah, the ball.
That's how X had the 4-point play that cut it from 5 to 1. And look, let's be honest here. If Jake doesn't splash that 3, it was danger.
It was
danger. Because X had the momentum. They would have had the ball with all they would have needed was 2 to go over or to hit the Elam ending. Like that was and then Jake splashes it, picks it up.
Yeah, the Elam endings used in the NBA All-Star game as well is where that's at. But I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it in like the NBA, that mid-season tournament that they're starting up this year. Or maybe
that should be canceled before it even starts.
Or maybe the NIT picks it up or something for college basketball. I mean, I think it'd be fun to see that kind of sprinkled in. But yeah, I mean, it's a great thing. You saw, not that I watched it, but maybe I did. That Zip It Up team, they were in some bad shape against the Georgia Kings in round 1. And they needed to make a big comeback. And without that Elam ending in a regular game, I bet Georgia Kings just kind of run that clock out, and you're
right. You win.
It's 1-2-3 Cancun for Zip 'em Up, but they had to wait one more day until it was 1-2-3 Cancun for Zip 'em Up.
Just hated to see old PP McCura not be able to make the game against Cincinnati.
Zinger, PP McCura. Chad, so Troy missed that free throw. Troy thoughts on Troy. He's going to have one game where he's going to make some sort of a massive play or maybe start splashing in some of these shots. And I mean, I think overall he's done a good job kind of controlling the game and helping out defensively and whatnot. But he's yet to truly make his mark on a big time game, other than that finish against Zip 'em Up, the land. But Troy will probably have one in him if I had to.
He's you would think. And I thought I was certain. Like if you're asking me for a breakdown of how do they beat Program for Autism, I would have said Troy needs to be number 3.
Okay.
Like they need him to step up and be that third to Jake and Jaron, because teams were doing everything they could to take away the side ball screens and everything that all the action. They were running double stagger screens, trying to get them open. Like they were doing maximum effort to try to keep the ball out of Jaron and Jake's hands. Yeah. And you would think Troy would be able to start to like take advantage of that, but he hasn't had to. Like they've done a really good job bringing like Dew up top and running it through him. They ran it through Corey up top a little bit, and then allowing kind of the dribble handoffs as opposed to the ball screens, so that you're not crowding the area where the ball is. So it's coming, I would think. Yeah. And Troy's never been a scorer. Like Jake and Jaron are scorers.
Yeah.
But Troy has had plenty of big games. Yeah. You would think at some point in time, as this thing gets higher up the ladder, Troy's gonna step up and have it might not be 26 or 20. I mean, they 26 and 23 tonight. They had 49 between. They almost outscored Program for Autism by themselves.
Right.
So you would think at some point Troy's going to get 14, 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there one night to alleviate some of the pressure. But if Jake and Jaron keep scoring 45 to 50 combined, there's a good chance they might be hoisting $1 million at the end of this deal.
Give them the ball, watch what they do with it. One more thing on Jake. First off, you see why NBA teams fell in love with Jake. His intangibles, his defense, his length. Man, tell me about his shot. It's starting to go in, and
what do you want me to tell you?
It's falling.
It's going in.
Right, but come on, man. You gotta.
What do you want me to tell you about his shot?
Looks a lot different than it did.
It does. Yeah. Yep. It does. It's a push shot.
It is.
It's a push shot now, and he needs a little bit of extra time to get it off than he did when he was in college. But he made a lot of them this weekend.
He did.
It doesn't look pretty. But when he's open, he's still an NBA player. It's still going in.
Right.
I'm not sure what you want me to tell you. It doesn't look the same.
You know. Come on. Aaron. Mamadou Diarra.
I was gonna bring that up if you didn't. Mamadou and Coriante DeBerry both have been excellent on the give and go, on the screens. They've been just fantastic running without the ball, and not just that, but on the offensive side, but also crashing boards, the block parties.
Who had 11 boards tonight?
Yeah.
The announcers were even talking about just how Mamadou's built for this new NBA, as far as just he has the physical characteristics that they look for in a player. It's just he still kind of looks like a baby giraffe out there.
He just gets sped up. Like you can still tell with Mamadou that basketball was not something that he grew up playing. Like when the game speeds up, when the game speeds up times 2, he speeds up times 4. And that's not a good thing.
Like just limbs everywhere.
Yeah, he's still really skilled. Like that move he made in the post, the reverse pivot, and then back to the other side for the layup. Like that was a big one in terms of getting them some space, because they were starting to cut into that lead. I think it got down to 12, or 14. Which if it gets within 10 and you got the Elam ending coming, and then all of a sudden you tighten up. Like you could be in trouble. And Mamadou, that too was pretty important, and a ton of rebounds. He was above the rim rebounding tonight.
He is. I mean, the thing about Mamadou as well is that you've always seen that ability for him to kind of just show glimpses of, wow, he's super athletic. He's got good touch. It looks like he's making, and then he'll have one or two I don't want to say bonehead, but one or two plays where it's kind of just like, okay, you probably should have passed that there, or okay, that was a little too aggressive defensively. You picked up a foul, but I mean, this seems like a perfect setting for him where it's just, okay, you are athletic. It seems like your stamina is on a different level than everyone else out there, and you are running up and down the court like a wild man. And him with Letcher Ellis, and then you bring in a bruiser and Coriante. I mean, sure, you probably want one more big man to kind of give a little bit more air, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean the plan was for Trey Scott to be on this team.
Think about adding Trey Scott to these guys. It's just
They could. I'm done doubting the fact that Jake and Jaron can carry them to the championship of this thing
for sure.
But I think they would have been maybe not the favorite, because there's a few that are there at the end of this thing every year.
Mm-hmm.
But they would have been as good as anybody in this tournament if Trey Scott was on the team.
Absolutely.
Let that man go make his money.
Yes, sir. That's right. And now the Nasty Natty, they're moving on. And it's so weird how they play a week from today. So I saw Keegan tweeted that Kevin Johnson saying they might have a couple more additions to the team. Possibly they aren't quite sure. I can imagine. I mean, I don't want to venture out to guess any of those, but the way that
I think we should.
Okay. What's your guess?
I mean, obviously the big one would be getting Keith into town.
Yeah.
And adding somebody that can, give, because really they couldn't get, like, you had to keep Jake, Jaron, and Troy on the floor for almost all of the game.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think it'd be fun if you saw SK make a reemergence. You don't think that would be fun?
I mean, it would be fun, but I'm at this point.
You don't want to ruin the mojo.
No, I'm just not. I'm not taking Jake and Jaron off the floor.
Lance Stevenson comes to town.
Did you see Jake?
Yeah,
on his not the last three, but the second to last three from the right corner, he hit it and was doing the Lance guitar.
They're having fun, man.
They're having a good time.
Maybe Octavius Ellis finishes up what he was doing overseas, or I don't know, what the timeline was.
Their season had just started, I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
They had just signed like in a summer league.
Oh, okay. Because I know some leagues overseas do they'll sign you to their playoff roster. And then,
no, I think it was a league that plays like more of a
style.
summer schedule than the NBA schedule kind of.
Okay, cool. Well, I tell you what, add another piece. I mean, Keith would be a massive addition, and I hate to say it, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more, but he'd probably take like Deshaun Mormon and Shaq's minutes potentially. But
minutes?
This team, I mean, you know what I mean. But this team is just athletic. Looks like their stamina is at a high, like I mentioned earlier. I mean, Letcher Ellis plays in the Chile League. I texted a buddy of mine who plays overseas, and he said the Chile League isn't like really known to be that great, but still he's averaging 17 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks over there. Jaron played in the
they nicknamed him 40.
40?
The announcers were saying they nicknamed Letcher Ellis 40 because he kept telling them that I hit 40% from 3 this year in my league. And then the announcers made the joke, what was he, like 4 of 10?
4 of 10, right. which maybe, who knows? I mean,
2 of 5.
Chad, were you at the game last year where they played?
No, I was on the road for AAU.
I mean, it just is night and day to how like more well-conditioned, more kind of just like locked in to the entire thing, like Jaron and Jake look, and just the team as a whole for the most part.
Well, yeah, I think last year was a wake-up call. Like I honestly, and I've talked to people about this, like when guys play in this for the first time, in this tournament for the first time, they think it's going to be like pickup ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then they play in it and they're like, oh no, it's like a one-shot pro league.
Right.
Because everybody is playing. Like everybody is playing overseas. Everybody is a professional. You don't have guys that just like, woke up off their couch.
Yeah.
People ask like, why doesn't Kevin Johnson play, or why doesn't it, like, because they're not pros.
Right.
They're not playing basketball all year.
Mhm. Right.
So, and to think that you're going to be able to just like, okay, I'm going to hop back out like it's a pickup game and go be able to compete at this level, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And they said it when we had them on. Like, we learned last year that shit's serious. Like, it's serious, a serious level of basketball.
Yeah.
So if you don't come ready to go, you're probably going to get your ass kicked.
Right.
That's just the truth of it. So I think having that first year helped a ton.
Yeah. Well, and also the money aspect of things. Like these guys all have families, and they're all, like, this is their job, their profession right now is this. I think Barstool had a team the first couple of years that they did it. So that, like, the first couple of years where they're getting off the ground, it was maybe a little bit more of like what is this new thing?
That
Right
Barstool
now,
team had a bunch of dudes on it, though.
They did. They El
Well, it
Prez
is
and
from
Bearcat
there.
scrapped. Yeah.
From there, it has turned into like an alumni thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's evolved more into an alumni thing.
Right. But for the most part, all of these guys are still playing. And
yeah,
it's you see all these showcases and stuff as well. Like, there's all these summer like leagues. They usually have some prize money at the end of their tournaments as well. But this one where you like had that amount, and yes, sure, it gets broken down when you win it all. But if you can get together with some buddies that are still playing overseas and put together a squad and go on a run and earn, $70K in a month, that's, I think a lot of guys would say, yeah, let's do it. Let's go out there and try and, bring home a championship. So I mean, they're locked in, and it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. The potential of who they might play, though, I'm not too sure. I think
it's the Dayton. Whoever wins the Dayton region, they haven't played a game yet,
right?
So.
Which is so weird. It's just a whole month. I mean, a whole week out. But yeah, they got like the St. John's alumni team, Ohio State's alumni team, Colorado's alumni team, Purdue's alumni team. So there's a good amount of solid teams that are in that part of the bracket. But for right now, it's been a thrill watching the Nasty Natty play, especially just in the middle of summer. Why not throw a little basketball on the TV? And it was kind of funny. I was at a party over the weekend, so I was trying to explain to everyone at the party what the TBT was and all of this, that, and the other, the Elam ending. And by the end of it, they were all sitting there rooting on the Nasty Natty, and we all went wild when Jake splashed in that three. But I do want to talk about one thing. Aaron, if you got a guy on your team that is wearing Puma shoes, they're at the end of the game, and you have to draw up one play, what play are you drawing up for said player?
They tried to get Mormon the ball. They tried. He couldn't get open. He was.
They guarded him.
He said to me after the game that they knew that, like, they didn't want to let him get it. They didn't want to let him do the damage.
They were down 20 and they face guarded Deshaun Mormon.
That's
probably the best defense they had all night.
That's that was a good joke. But that's on the Nasty Natty for not having anybody else wear Pumas. If anybody else is wearing Pumas, at least you have an opportunity to get Mormon open at that point. Like, if anybody else,
I mean, like, they used him as a decoy and ended up looking because everyone was like flashing to him and
maybe
shoveling him on the outside.
Maybe Shaq Thomas should get some Pumas for the next one, so him and Mormon can both be running around out there all crazy like.
Okay.
If you win $1,000, the juice is worth the squeeze.
Oh, heard that. I do want to ask you guys another question because obviously it's a whole week off until that the next game, but still it's going to be a lot of fun continuing to track them and see who can come out on top and how they can continue to roll in the right direction, pull out a win. But there was a quote that was taken from Jacob Evans that before the game over the weekend, and it was trying to find it real quick. It's what they're planning on doing after they if they are able to
2 gallons of Henny, shots of tequila.
Yeah, here we go. Patron shots, bottomless mimosas, champagne, and a gallon of Henny. So my challenge to the BBP:
Absolutely not.
if the Nasty Natty goes on and
Nope.
and wins
Absolutely not.
and wins
Those are
it all,
not things I drink.
each one of us needs to pick one of those and come on the podcast and roll with it. I'm going to give Royer the Patron shots. Chad, you got the bottomless mimosas. Aaron, champagne or Henny for you?
The last time I had Henny, I threw up. So I think I'd
Make for
not.
good podcasting.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
Okay, so Henny for Aaron.
Brett, you got a gallon of Henny.
Okay, I can do a gallon of Henny. Royer, are you wanting Patron shots?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that'd be an awesome podcast. I think that'd be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Chad.
I mean, they legitimately could win $1 million now.
I mean, they could. They could.
I'm not saying they're the favorites or that they're gonna, but like you're in the Elite Eight. Like you legitimately have a shot to win $1 million now.
Yeah.
Especially the way Jaron and Jake are playing.
Yeah. Like they look fresh. They look like, a lot of them look like grizzled veterans on the other teams or guys who might not really be, I don't want to say in shape because they're all professional.
Towards the end of their careers, is that what you're getting at?
Maybe a little bit along those lines, right? And it just looks like Jake and Jaron are just like fresh, and then Mamadou and Letcher Ellis are fresh, and then you have a bruiser if you want to throw some bows for a little bit, and Coriante, which, by the way, he got absolutely mauled at one point in the game, and there was no call. I was just some of the officiating is a little baffling, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I completely agree. I think they have a legit shot to win because we saw how good this team was, the real Cincinnati team was, when it was Jaron and Jake playing at a high level. So we'll see. We will see. Because if Marquette and Travis Dean are knocking down a 3 at the buzzer in the corner can win $1 million, I think this team can absolutely put something together and continue rolling. It's been a lot of fun, though. A lot of fun to watch them. And I know you've been there, Chad. It's been a lot of fun to take in as well. So that's
How big was the crowd tonight, Chad?
He's
all right.
out. He's out right now.
I hit the thing. I hit my cord and unplugged my mic, so I had to do that. It was pretty good. It was probably about the same size as it was for the Xavier game on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, a slight bit less, but like the home side, like the side where the benches were, was pretty packed with UC fans, and then a pretty good gathering of UC fans on the other side. So most of the lower bowl had people in the seats.
Okay, because the announcers had mentioned that it was like 85-15% for the Xavier game, Xavier to UC fans.
I don't think it was that lopsided, but I mean it's their home gym, and
sure,
I wouldn't be surprised. They definitely outnumbered UC fans. I don't think it was 85-15, but maybe more like a 70-30 type deal.
Okay.
There was still, you could hear down the drive at the end of the game.
Yeah, did Troy get mid-court standing on the X doing down the drive?
They did it as a team tonight.
Okay.
They did it as a team. That's what Aaron was talking about. Letcher Ellis was, you could see he was looking at everybody, waiting for like the right. He was like doing the hand motion and then waiting for when to do the UC.
Hey, kudos to him for trying, though. I mean, he didn't have to even do that, right? Like
right.
He could have just been like, "Nah, this ain't my jam." But no,
hey, look, man,
he embraced it. I love it.
That's a Bearcat. That's a Bearcat.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing as well was on Saturday, like for a while, Robbie Hummel and the play-by-play guy kind of forgot to say "zip them up" in Nasty Natty, and they were just saying
Xavier and Cincinnati. Yeah, that's what it was. Come on.
So it's like,
come on.
But I tell you what, man, Jake said it right on Saturday. They said we had no business letting that game become a game like we let it, because
Oh,
That
they destroyed them for a
quarter and a
60%
half.
of the first
Yeah.
half.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just demoralized them. It was a bloodbath for a while.
Yes.
I mean,
But
it was 30-5.
Did that crowd propel him?
The Xavier crowd. Well, I think they just they had that energy of. Well, the Xavier guys didn't look like they wanted. They look, man. We'll just call a spade a spade. They were out of shape.
Yeah. Trayvon Blewett looks like he's been hanging out with my friend.
Me. Looks like he's been hanging out with me.
Yeah.
He hasn't been, but he looks like it.
Right.
They did not want to guard. Now, once they finally realized, oh, we're gonna we can't get embarrassed on our home court, they started to put up a little bit more of a fight. But the beginning of that game, they got up 6-0 and just were like, oh, this is already over. Like, we're gonna kill these guys.
Right.
And next thing you know, it's 30-11.
Yeah. I tell you what, man. That Letcher Ellis, yes, a lot of blocks, and he's kind of all over the floor. That 3 he hit, we're gonna look back and
Saturday,
say,
yeah.
what if I told you one of the biggest shots made at the
No,
Center
Calm
for a
down.
Bearcat affiliated team? No,
Calm
that was
down.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we'll see. Next Monday is going to be the game. Dayton, not far away for the boys to head up and make a trip there.
I'm tempted. 7:00 Monday night.
Right.
I'm tempted.
We'd have to push the BBP back. There's no way you get home in time for that one.
No, we'd have to
That'd
do
be
Tuesday, I guess.
Tuesday.
But
I'm flying back from Florida Tuesday. But hey, you know what? We'll cross that bridge.
we'll make something happen.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, we'll make something happen. If
Cross
you have
that bridge
to,
when we get
what I
there.
could do, what I thought about was possible tonight, if I had to, is I could just do audio from my car.
Right. Yeah.
While I was driving home from Dayton.
That'd be an easy way to get home. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd just do the podcast the whole drive home. So
yeah.
I mean that's we'll see. We'll see. I'm
tempted.
tempted. I'm tempted to go.
Yeah,
tempted to go.
UD Arena, good place to take in a game, especially with the Bearcats there.
It's an hour.
Yeah. Worth it.
It's an hour. Be depressing show if they lose.
Right.
They drive home, talk about a loss, but
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and especially the fact that whoever wins and advances there will be in Dayton that entire time, and then be heading into that game on Monday. Which who knows? Maybe tired legs, maybe can take advantage, but we'll see. That'll be exciting to continue to track. But for now, it is awesome seeing Jaron and Jake playing at the level they're playing. Mamadou playing at the fan favorite level that we've seen him play. Coriante, I tell you what, I was kind of texting about this in my friend chat. If Coriante had one more year with the Bearcats, I think he would have the potential to be just an absolute beast, an all-conference type performer, and turn a lot more heads than he did during his time with Cincy. Because he closed out his senior year on a high note.
Yeah, he was trending in the right direction for sure.
Right. I mean, that's just it's a beast.
Give him one of those COVID years.
Can we toss it over? Is that considered a 2-time transfer? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, that's talking nasty natty here on the BBP. You guys have anything else as far as
look, man? It's alumni basketball. It's not a huge deal, but this is something as we get to that end of the summer grind that we've talked about, where there's a lot you can still talk about in April and May and in June. Like you're grinding a little bit, but you can still, pull some guests out and do some fun stuff. By the time you get to like the second and third week in July, it is challenging to get to August.
Pretty barren.
So to have this as something now that we get not only for this week, but because they won
next
something
week.
Xavier's never done. They've never won a regional.
Oh.
in anything ever, because to win a
Shots fired.
regional, you have to that's how you get to a Final Four, is winning a regional. They've never done that. And now 2 years in a row, they've hosted the TBT regional at the Cintas Center, and they haven't won that either. So,
does Cincinnati earn the right to host next year rather than have it at the Cintas Center?
Here's what's interesting. Cintas is getting some renovations done next year, so they can't host. So, John Cunningham,
Fifth Third Arena,
somebody,
get it right.
Let's get this thing at TV. Let's get TBT at Cintas or at Fifth Third Arena next year, and just keep it. Like, they won the right. They won the right to have the Cincinnati region at Fifth Third Arena next year.
Actually, Xavier should just give Cincinnati the rights for the way that they dealt with all of COVID and that whole mess.
Here you go. Now it's yours.
You mean you didn't like John Brannon's and Chris Mack's video on Twitter?
So there's a timestamp. Brought to you by Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries, providing a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
That was Brandon and Steele, right? Mac was the Louisville video. Anyway,
whatever it was, you needed to be silent.
Yeah, I agree. That's just dark time, very dark time. Anyway, so with the Nasty Natty having the success that they're having, what does it mean that a current Cincinnati-led team, went 8-1 overall in the 2 days that they scrimmaged, little open gyms against said Nasty Natty performers? Chad, you gotta say that's a bit of a tip of the cap to some potential players on this upcoming season's roster.
Sure. I mean, now Jake wasn't in town the first night.
Okay.
And Jaron didn't play the second night.
Oh.
And they were split up. So if Jake and Jaron and Troy were on the same team, it probably would have been problems for the current Bearcats.
Was Letcher Ellis there at the open gym?
Oh, yeah. He said everything. He's into this, man. This is he loves this. Okay. So I'm dead serious. He was one of the first dudes there. Keegan and I got there early because they had a media session, and Keegan's got a really good, which I think is going to be a great feature coming up on Cash and Kane and Kevin and Kyle Washington, who's now at Iona. Kyle Washington,
Loyola?
Iona.
He's at Iona now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assistant? Bernie told me that.
Okay.
He's on, I don't know exactly what role, but he's on staff.
Nice.
Talking about them getting into coaching, I know Keegan's got a quote from Mick for that article, so that should be coming up here in the next couple days. But he was there early, just hanging out. I'm on this team. It's my team. I'm here, and I love it. I love the guy. We need to have Marquez Letcher Ellis on the BBP.
Bring him on, man.
So we can get his perspective. We can give him his CPAW.
I'm down. He's going down in the same lore as a Quadrimore and
No, don't you put that on Marquez Letcher Ellis.
All right.
I will smack the shit out of you.
I want to hear somebody who's actually earned a CPAW and what he thinks about giving somebody an honorary CPAW. So Ryan, what are your thoughts on giving a guy who has been a spark plug on this Nasty Natty team earning an honorary CPAW? You're on mute. Okay.
I don't want you might get my hater juices flowing. I don't want to get my hater juices flowing this late at night.
Well, turn them on, baby.
Let me make a case, Royer. Let me make a case. This wouldn't happen if it just because he was on the team. This happened because he played like a Bearcat. He played his dick off. He blocked shots. He did the dirty work. Like
Played his
he didn't
dick
need the
off.
score.
Literally
he didn't need
off.
the ball. He embodied what it is to be a Bearcat. That's why we're saying he earned his C, Paul. Not just because he was on this nasty natty team that has made this run, but because he embodied being a Bearcat. Maybe we should blame Mick Cronin for not recruiting Marquez Letcher Ellis out of high school.
Right.
Or else he could have been a Bearcat all along.
Okay, fair. Yeah,
made him a
he
Ken
looked like
doll.
Bearcat. He's honorary is a good honorary C.
Honorary Bearcat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That works.
I'm cool with it.
That works, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, if Mr. fucking Bearcat is cool with it, then I think he's an honorary Bearcat.
Yeah.
Who else could you ask but Mr. Bearcat? If he gives his blessing, and we have a blessing from Mr. Bearcat.
I mean, Wes Miller's tweeting about it. You know, the Cincinnati men's basketball, I guess what are we calling it? X.com account is tweeting heavily about it. I mean, their zip it up emoji was phenomenal.
That was fire.
Was fantastic. You know, and by the way, that whole I knew something was going to happen with the cardboard thing because I saw in real time blew it, knocked down the nasty natty one, and looked at it and just threw it on the ground. So I love that little addition to it. So yeah, I mean, honorary Bearcat, everyone's in, and if certain fan bases are getting on Bearcat fans and the Bearcats official, X.com accounts, then you know what, I just go figure out some other way to spend your late July days when it comes to taking in sports. But yeah, 8-1 against this TBT team is current roster. But yeah, and also that current roster had, it's cool that Landers was playing with them, but man, it's like Landers, I bet he took a fair share of the shots as well. But hey, you know what? It's got a group of upcoming Bearcats and a group of upcoming Bearcats that Chad, you and Dave kind of mentioned it a little bit on the BCJ pod last week, but kind of rolling into the basketball team next season, this upcoming season, is the home and aways that were announced last week.
Yeah.
Both is UCF, Houston, TCU, Oklahoma, West Virginia. Home only, Iowa State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Texas. Road only, Baylor, BYU, Kansas, and Texas Tech. Aaron, I'm going to pass down to you and just ask what your most excited feeling or your number one storyline that you take away just from hearing the home and homes and the home and away schedule for the Big 12 year one.
At Kansas. That's the most exciting
Let's
story.
go.
Period.
Yeah. The fall.
You want to go, Royer?
I would love to go.
Fog Allen Fieldhouse.
You know what?
How would we?
I might have to rent a vehicle so I can take all of us.
Like a 12-passenger van.
We couldn't get into the game without a media. Like, there's no way you can buy a ticket to that game, right?
I don't know that they're going to give me 12 media passes, but
I'm just saying, like,
well,
there's
no,
way
but,
you can get in.
every player and every coach on staff gets 3 family tickets. We're going to sit kind of in the nosebleeds a little bit, but
I'll come up with something. But I think I might need to rent something and make this a content road trip. Like,
pick me up on the way. I mean, this is like,
yeah.
Who's going to be editing the film down? Because,
we got a producer for that.
I think we just go live for segments. Like, okay, we're going to be live for the next 45 minutes of the drive.
Not if Brent is still drinking his gallon of Hennessy.
That TBT! We won!
You know what? I'm warming up to this idea that I rent something and we drive to the Fog.
And then, Chad, think about it. Everyone else that'll be in attendance, maybe the night before the game. Hopefully the game's on like a Saturday, so that Friday night we have just a BCJ meetup at one of the bars in Lawrence. Try and get all the Bearcat fans together. Because I know for a fact Fog Island Fieldhouse is circled on a bunch of Bearcat fans' agendas in year one of the Big 12. So it was mine. No matter what, no matter if it's on a big Monday night,
All right.
anything, I was going to be there. So
Maps.
Chad's looking into it.
PHOG Allen Fieldhouse.
Fieldhouse.
From my front door
To the Fog.
to the Fog.
8 hours.
It's taking a while. 9 hours and 37. Well, 10 hours and 32 minutes if I go through Indy.
Ooh, I can meet you guys somewhere. Don't worry.
Okay. The Louisville route is the Louisville St. Louis path is much faster. It's an hour faster to go the Louisville St. Louis route.
Meet y'all in St. Louis. You can find me in St. Louis. You know.
I mean, Louisville would probably be quicker for you, right?
Yeah, but that's kind of like, I guess that is kind of on your way over there. But yeah, I mean, we'll figure something
We
out.
have to go through Louisville and then St. Louis and then just straight across the state to Kansas.
Yeah, there you go. Fog Island Fieldhouse takeover.
I'm gonna rent something, and we're gonna maybe we can find a nice tricked out Sprinter or something to rent that holds like 6, 7, 8 people.
Yeah.
And we'll just make content.
Us four, Dave, Keegan.
Taryn's going.
Taryn.
The man Taryn Bland is in on this trip. He was the first. Like when the day that UC got into the Big 12, I was in for Mo, and Taryn's like, "We're going to Fog Island Fieldhouse." I was like, "Oh yeah,
amen.
Oh yeah."
Pick up
Ryan can do shots of Patron.
Yep.
So this is probably going to have to be like I would assume a 3-day trip. Like go the day before.
Yep.
Spend the night.
Friday,
hang out in
Saturday.
In Lawrence.
Yeah.
Do the game, and then come back
Sunday,
the next day.
Come back. Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, it better be a Saturday. Please be a Saturday.
I don't care if it's a Tuesday. Like you're just gonna have to take a couple vacation days.
Hey, that's no biggie.
You're the boss now.
Yeah, that's fine.
The trucks don't stop, Chad.
That's fine. But yeah, no, I agree. Let's do it. Let's do it. Pick up Brett Stein on our way. He lives in Missouri.
He lives in Peoria. Yeah, he's in Illinois.
Illinois.
He could meet us in St. Louis.
There you go. Get what? Who else we have on staff? Reagan, Dave.
I don't think Reagan wants to deal with all of us idiots.
Squad. Let's squad up and roll, baby. Lock it in. But yeah, that's obviously the biggest storyline takeaway from schedule release. One of my other ones kind of going to play off this whole party atmosphere that you guys are creating is the fact that we don't get to go to Austin. Literally 0 trips to Austin, Texas, which
none in football or basketball. That kind of stinks, not gonna lie.
Heartbreaker.
But yeah.
That's my next city I want to check out, man.
Oh, you're gonna love it, man.
Just not gonna watch a Bearcats game.
I absolutely love
the comedy scene there. I love stand up. The food.
You would love Austin, Texas. I tell you what, man.
You been?
Oh yeah.
What'd you do out there?
Bachelor party.
Shocker.
And then visited a friend of mine that was living down there. So
he's like a wedding god.
Brett, you should start a wedding like business.
The movie Wedding Crashers was based on Brent's life.
I told you guys.
Brent is to Wedding Crashers what Bert Kreischer is to
taking his shirt off.
Van Wilder,
He's taken his shirt off that many times. That's how many times Brent's been to weddings.
Funny thing about Bert is he thinks he's got a great body, is what he says. Got nice broad shoulders. I agree. He looks great with the shirt off. But yeah, Austin is an awesome city. Sadly, with no trips there. Interesting to see the two AAC buddies of ours going to be home and homes. I mean, I don't know if that was something that was always planned or not, but is what it is. The main thing, though, is what I was kind of going to segue and parlay this in with. Chad or Ryan, if you guys have anything additional on the home and homes and whatnot release, any excitement they have there?
You guys hit it pretty well. That basketball Fog Allen Fieldhouse. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Right.
The home games, all of it's exciting.
It is.
What did Rothstein put out today? The Big 12 teams last year averaged 21 quad one games.
That was going to literally be my
31
segue.
games. You play 31 games. They averaged 21 quad one games in this conference.
Chad, that was my segue. You did a great job, man. Keep it rolling.
I got you, bro. I got you.
It's got to be the number one thing is the fact that all of these home and homes, potentially probably not UCF at home, unless they, have some sort of a great season. But
maybe not BYU.
Yeah, maybe, but that's on the road. So probably going to be close to a quad one game, BYU on the road, just because they play in the Big 12. And then the homes, maybe Oklahoma State is the only home only that might inch into that quad two, but you're looking at a bunch of, Oklahoma maybe is another, maybe not at home type team. But I mean, you're looking at potentially 21, you said? We're going to be right up there with near 20 quad one games for the Bearcats, which, as you mentioned, Rothstein pointed out, and as Wes said on the podcast with Rothstein, is the fact that, what if you have a rough 3-game stretch? If you have a bad week or two, it doesn't matter. West Virginia went 7-11 in the Big 12 last year and was like a 9 seed. And so it's just the Big 12 is a gift that keeps on giving. If you can string together some solid weeks,
as long as you win,
some wins, yeah,
as long as you win,
right, then you can make a case and build your case because the committee loves the Big 12. That's got to be the biggest takeaway from any sort of release when it comes to college basketball in the Big 12.
Si, senor. I like high level basketball. I enjoy watching high level basketball.
Yep.
It's fun watching the strategy of it, watching, example today, to go back to TBT for just a second.
Yeah.
They came out of the gate knowing that Program for Autism was going to do everything possible to take away Jake and Jaron. So what did they do the entire, the first 4 possessions? Slips to the rim, ball, screen and roll, a backdoor, a guy getting off the movement from the outside and being on the weak side for a pass.
Post touches.
Yeah, just watching the strategy of it. Okay, these are high-level coaches in high-level games with great players. And watching the chess match back and forth is fascinating to me. It's why I love basketball. And you're going to see it at the absolute highest level of college basketball for 2.5, 3 months.
Yep.
From the end of December all the way through the conference tournament in mid to late March, you are going to be watching elite basketball, not only every night that UC plays, but guess what you're going to be doing as a UC fan? You're going to be watching every Big 12 game that's on TV because you're going to have a vested interest in the outcome, and you're going to get to watch. It's the Big East. Dude, I was a kid in a fucking candy store when they got into the Big East because I knew what it meant. I knew that it meant Syracuse UConn on Big Monday was going to mean something to me.
Yep.
That shit is fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron obviously is going to have to still watch the ECU versus Tulsa games because we're going to do
he's going to have to watch UAB and Texas State.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's what I'm watching.
But no, I completely agree. And the fact of the matter is that this is the ever-changing college basketball landscape right now, and a couple of hot hitters that came out of that Rothstein pod was the fact that 0 players from the first and second team all Big 12 teams from last year are returning to the Big 12 this year. And only 2 teams in the entire Big 12 returned 50% or more of their scoring from the year before. So it's kind of, yes, there's going to be the high heavy teams like Kansas and, K-State and those squads that obviously were starting to build some things heading into the past year. But it's also going to be a lot of new faces and a lot of, who gels and who makes big moves. And, is Houston going to be the same after all they lost? Is, this, that, and the other. There's a lot of questions still that are left unanswered when it comes to who's going to really kind of take control and run with Big 12. Yeah, there's a lot of good transfers in. Cincinnati has a lot of those good transfers in. So week in and week out, you've got a plethora of chances to not only secure big wins, but like you said, Chad, watch great games up and
Yeah.
down the entire conference.
It's fun, man. Watch great games. I don't have to watch shit AAC games anymore. How many times I had to watch Tulsa Tulane on a fucking Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Because I needed to know like what was coming up for the next game. Ugh. Bleh.
Or clenching my bum hole on another trip to ECU as they sweat out a 55 to 52 grinder. Like, no, thank you.
Right.
No, thank you. But yeah,
Hard pass.
Hard pass. That's I am taking a hard pass on that every single day of the week. But yeah, so Wes was on with Rothstein. Kind of, the typical things that we've heard a lot about. Yeah, it's talked about Day Day and Jizzle, who are Bearcat type players. Mentioned Seamus is going to have a lot of the offense run through him. CJ was on 4 NCAA tournament teams, so he brings a lot of experience to the squad. Mentioned Odi Oguama, highly improved. Vic Locken, highly improved. Mentioned how Newman's getting healthy. Mentioned CJ Anthony, saying he's a Division I player, not to put
He is. He is. He can play Division I ball for sure.
Yes. But yeah, kind of those things along those lines. You also saw Jamil Reynolds today had his max record for max vertical.
Holy crap!
Not his max record, wasn't it? The max record?
No, that was his max record.
All right. Then it was phrased.
Aziz was a notch or two higher, I think, when they showed Aziz.
If he's setting the Bearcat record, then that guy.
I thought that's what it
round
said.
1 in the NBA draft. But no, I think it's I thought that too, Aaron. But I was like, it's got to be his just personal record as a Bearcat, because
it's probably his personal record. Period.
It was phrased oddly. Rayfelt said, "Congratulations to Jamil for a new Bearcat max jump record."
Right.
That to me sounds like the max jump for a Bearcat.
I like I said, if it is, then that guy's going round 1 of the NBA draft.
Well, that just goes back to what we've talked about, and the fact that Rayfelt has the buy-in, though, of a guy who had to lose 30 pounds when he got here is now max jumping.
Beast. That had Day setting the record as well. Personal record, I believe, as a Bearcat.
No, it was that's the all.
That was the record. Okay.
Elite speed.
Oh,
some would say.
Snow would disagree.
Some would say.
Snow would disagree. But still, it's big time athleticism, big time improvement in the weight room and on the hardwood. A lot of excitement on this team, and Ross, also asked Wes about, if he's had contingency plans if the waivers don't go through, and as a typical answer as you would imagine, Wes said, they did everything they needed to do, the legwork and the
Roy looks tired. Are you tired, Ryan? Is it past your bedtime? Do we need to keep this moving?
No, you guys are good, man. Keep going.
But yeah, I mean, that's it's all good things. If you want to listen,
I do have something to keep Royer up.
Okay.
I had a phone conversation today.
Uh-huh.
Rayfeld just responded. He said UC record. It was the all-time max jump at UC since Rayfeld has been at UC. So player.
I did read it right.
Wow.
He said Kmart. Who knows? Like Kmart might have the all. But
I mean, Jamil is an NBA player.
Yeah. Wow. That's what my response was. Wow. But I was doing radio today, and I got a text message, and we have at the end of the 4:00 hour, we have Brenneman and Jones on baseball, so that takes up like 12 minutes. So I had a little bit of a break, and I got a text message from Mike Denbrock. who said, "Did you call me last week? Like, what did you need?
Oh no.
Why did you call me at 9:00 last week?" And I called him and I said, "Well, we were live and the topic of Ryan Royer playing fullback came up, and we wanted to get your opinion on if you fucked up and didn't put Royer at fullback like you should have." And he said, "You know what? We probably should have put Royer at fullback because he would
Damn.
stick his face in there. Like
Okay.
Yeah,
like
Hell
if you
yeah,
put Royer at
Coach D.
fullback and you told him go wipe this guy out, he would go and wipe that guy out. So Denbrock
Royer.
gave you exactly what we were wondering, that in retrospect, using Royer at fullback could have been beneficial to the Cincinnati offense in certain situations.
You still got one more year, Ryan.
I know that natty, man. We could have had that natty.
If you played fullback against Alabama, everything
Yeah,
could have changed.
We were gonna run the slip pass, bro, right up the gut. I
I
would
like
have
this idea.
housed at least 5 touchdowns. I don't know, something like that.
Mike wants, Raphael wants it. It's touched, highest touch. So he's a huge human. So it's not vert. Like he doesn't have a 43-inch, whatever gigantic
but
vert.
still,
Yeah.
But he touched
he hit the highest
higher on that.
the highest little flingy thing.
The disease.
I thought it. I would have bet money that it would have been Aziz.
Yeah.
I would have lost.
He said Jameel has a 9'3" standing reach.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
So
two
standing
Ryans.
flat-footed like this, 9'3".
And
Almost
if you want to
touched the
get
rim.
even more jazzed up about Jameel Reynolds, watch his high school highlight tape, boy. I tell you what. If he's getting back to that shape with that sort of athleticism coming with it as well, pin me down. I'm getting a little excited over here. But anyway, Royer,
Ooh.
having you as a polling fullback, taking out Will Anderson, Ford coming up
Oh,
behind
yeah.
you, I like that. I like that
He
a lot.
hit 12 foot 4 inches today on his
That
on
means
his
he
reach.
can dunk, right? He can probably dunk. I mean,
Yeah, I think
Maybe
he
a
can.
slam
I
ball.
might be able to dunk with 2 hands, not just one. Or like us the white boy hoopers, we would try to like lob the ball up just right above the rim and just like tap
Touch
it
it.
and graze the rim on the way down and count it as a dunk.
That's a dunk. Or
what we
you
would
lower
do.
the rim a little bit and just don't tell anybody.
Yeah, or
You're
we
like,
just go play
"God,
dunk ball at eight
really
foot.
feeling these hops today. Feeling nice." But yeah, or slam ball made a big return. Little trampoline right there in front of the rim. Go
Yeah,
after it.
It's funny you mentioned that when me and my girlfriend were out to dinner at this one like distillery, and that slam ball was on. I just couldn't keep my eyes off of it.
Oh God, it's addicting.
What are you watching? I'm like, basketball with trampoline. She's like, what?
Yep.
I'm like, slam ball. Look at it. And she just like, we watched it for a little bit. And I was like, isn't that awesome? And she's like, yeah, it's cool. And then she had to remind me 2 other times to stop watching it, but it's all right.
Yeah, her loss.
So at some point in time here in the next couple of weeks, I don't have a specific date yet, but we will get Mike Rayfeld on to talk about all this.
Good. That guy is
I can't
the
wait.
man.
Look, Jameel Reynolds is touching 12'4". What?
I'm blown away. Royer, did you go to High Bank Distillery? Oh, he's gone.
I just want it on record though that I was the one who
You
made
were.
that.
Hey,
Observation.
gave you your cookies. You get
Hey.
your cookies.
Aaron,
Just saying.
I thought it was just a personal.
Me too.
To have the guy to be the guy that got higher than anybody else has ever gotten.
Yeah.
It's impressive for a dude that look. I don't know if Mike will tell us this next week, but I think he was pushing 3 bills, if not a little over 3 bills when he got here.
Absolutely.
3 bills.
That height, that size, he's probably 3:30 during his playing days at UCF. I'm not afraid to even mention that. Look at
he's gonna put one of those giant hands through your skull.
Wow, that's actually phenomenal. Yeah, but hey, you know what? Now we just gotta sit back, hope, and pray that either him or Aziz gets that waiver, because golly, that is a very promising thing to hear. Truly, it is. So Jamil Reynolds, wow, what a beast! What an absolute beast. And I think that's all I got as far as basketball goes. Other than that, the other thing that Mike posted today, the new walkway for the basketball team with the jump man at the end. Got the intimidate, dominate, celebrate on the sides of the walls. That is that right there. That's exciting. So ready for the
old school,
timestamp.
intimidate, dominate, celebrate.
Yep.
Like that's as good as it gets.
Literally, as good as it gets. Timestamp it, y'all.
Quick Paper Supply. They provide mostly disposable restaurant supplies, products like to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins. They've been open since 2009 and are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick, 513-470-2029, and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Oh, baby. Quick miscellaneous before we hop into that mailbag so you can get that Will Miller read ready, Aaron. But the day one tour was in Dayton last Wednesday. I didn't hear much about it, but I'm sure it was as fruitful and positive as the other ones have been. Jace Richardson, another update on him, visiting Stanford, Bama, and Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they're saying September visit. Cincinnati hosts Oklahoma on September 23rd. He wants to make a decision by his brother's birthday in October. I think there would be nothing better than the atmosphere at that Oklahoma game, and then with the decision looming in October. 6:30 p.m. kickoff on the CW for the Pitt game, and then our boy Dante Corleone, the Godfather Pizza at Mio's. Pepperoni, bacon, beef, jalapeno. What are you guys going to get first? The Godfather burger or the Godfather pizza?
I think I'm getting the Pizza Friday.
Okay.
What do you guys think of Mio's Pizza?
I love Mio's.
I feel like we don't have a good pizza spot. It's definitely not on campus.
Oh, I love two places on campus for pizza.
Adriatico's?
Adriatico's and
I forgot about Adriatico's. Okay, I forgot about that. Other than that, I'm not a huge fan of the Mio's.
Do you not like the? Let me guess. You don't like the cornmeal on the bottom.
No, it's a
little floppy.
It's just like Adriatico's is like 5 times better than it.
I like Mio's. I enjoy Mio. I enjoy a good Mio's pizza, but I'm pretty simple on my pizza. Like I just generally like pepperoni and sausage, or pepperoni. Like I'm a pretty simple pizza guy. Mm-hmm. So I don't like if you get a bunch of stuff on Mio's, I can see where it might not be up your alley.
Yeah.
I had a couple buddies that worked there, and just knowing they were making my food was just
you're like,
you've got a bias. They might have spit in your shit. No,
they would make a really good. The buffalo chicken they would make would be good.
I love their barbecue chicken. Actually, might be my favorite at Mio's. So normally on Friday when I do radio, I get Taryn and I a pizza. We usually do Italianette in Silverton because that's one of my top 3 pizzas in Cincinnati. But we saw The Godfather last Friday when it was announced. So we will be this Friday doing a Godfather
taste test
before the show.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So are you picking the pizza over the burger just based off of the?
I don't know. I'm like, if I'm like in that setting, it would be really hard to go to Bucketheads on the west side and get a burger.
No, I'm just saying like if you had to pick between the two, not like to take to the radio station.
No, I'm never on the west side for one. I'm just never there. in my world, it's really far.
Well, just
So-
like a burger.
So
if
I'm probably not going to go there just because it's like 45 minutes, 50 minutes for me to get there.
But if you wrapped a Godfather burger in a slice of Godfather pizza, is that like a Mio's bucket?
It might be like everybody that does the
Wow.
Reds games. They do the La Rosa's
Sky
pizza
Rosa,
with
right?
The Sky Rosa. Maybe Aaron might be onto something that we have to get a Mio's pizza.
That'd be
That
the
we have to
mob
get a
pie.
Godfather burger and mix it with a Mio's pizza somehow.
Okay.
And if he finds out you did that, his mind's gonna be blown.
Wait, what?
You did
And
what?
wash it all down with the Cincy light. There you go.
That wasn't meant for that, Chad. What did you do?
So Mia's also does deep dish. So you could probably do the Godfather deep dish with the Godfather burger on top.
It wouldn't
And
even
then-
fold over it at that point.
Well, and
yeah.
then you just have to do fork and knife like you do with the deep dish. And then you could go immediately to UC Hospital and check yourself in for the heart attack that you're going to have.
Yeah, true.
The also other thing, the Godfather burger has an onion ring. And I hate onion. I can't do onions.
Yeah, I'm
So
thinking
that makes the
pizza.
Godfather burger for
I
me.
thought it was just raw onions you couldn't do. You can't do cooked onions.
Maybe what if they don't do them? What if it's not fried enough and it's still kind of raw and then I throw up? I can't do it. I'm just not going to do it.
Too crunchy. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Roy, are you taking the pizza out of those two?
I don't know. I was split. I can't really think which one I'd want. They both. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like thick burgers. Like I
Right.
love smash burgers,
Yeah.
and like that Godfather burger is that's a Dante burger. It's a thick ass
Dante.
burger.
Yeah, it's Dante's burger. It's not a Royer. It's a Dante. It's the Corleone.
Yeah, we ain't getting smashed down for that Corleone burger, but I'd probably go with the pizza.
Yeah.
I know it kind of goes against my stance that I just made on the Mio's pizza, but
Right.
Well, your friends don't work there anymore, so you're good.
I know. I might have
True.
to go back there. The other thing, Chad, was every time we went to Mio's, I was eating it was when they would do like the mass prepare. So like we would get we'd always get like the
Like the buffet style, right?
yeah, or the buffet or like the pizzas that have been sitting out for like a little bit because like we'd get there after practice at different times and stuff. So I would like always be eating just like lukewarm pizza. So I was never probably getting the best experience.
Did you go to High Bank Distillery in Columbus?
Yeah. I went
Great
to High
spot.
Bank.
Great
Dude,
spot.
really good. You ever had the Korean Philly there?
No.
Oh, if you ever go back, it is so good.
Went there for like a little like just kind of get together type thing.
Bachelor party?
No, my brother lives. No, I told you this. My brother lives right
Well
down the
played.
street from Naughty Pine
Uh-huh.
and DK Diner right there. So
Yeah.
we've stomped over to that distillery before, but
Royer, I'll give you a tip though. Are you a steak hoagie guy? Like, did you get indoctrinated into steak hoagies in your time in Cincinnati?
I do. Yeah, I do like those a lot.
Mio's has the best steak hoagie in the city.
Really?
Yes.
I would never have think to order it.
Oh, it is phenomenal. The bread is perfect. Just a little bit of like the garlic butter and like the seasoning on top of the bread. Mio's steak hoagies are elite. Elite
Okay.
steak hoagies. And you get the fat like the potato wedges. Like the dark
Uh-huh.
brown kind of like fried potato wedges with them.
Wait, steak hoagie? You mean like a Philly cheesesteak type thing?
No.
Oh.
Cincinnati steak hoagie. Like chopped
Oh, I've never-
steak. You've never had a steak hoagie with pizza sauce
No.
and cheese?
No.
Oh, Royer.
like a Philly cheesesteak.
No. Absolutely
yeah.
not.
Right, we're
Like,
on the same page.
He's
here.
talking like a
That is-
JTM like La Rosa's style steak hoagie.
You've never
Yeah,
they've never had, neither of them have ever had a steak hoagie. Clearly, if
I
they
follow.
no, Royer, steak hoagie. pizza
I was
sauce
thinking,
and
like,
cheese.
CC steak and lemonade. That was always some good
No.
shit.
Steak hoagie, pizza sauce and cheese. Or you can get mushroom sauce on it if you're a mushroom guy.
Can I
Onions,
get
pickles.
mushrooms with red sauce?
Oh,
Sauteed
I don't-
mushrooms.
okay.
They make a mushroom sauce that they put on steak hoagies. I just don't eat mushrooms.
Okay.
It's like
It's
kind
a
of a
pizza-
brown sauce. It's like
It's
Oh,
a
it
pizza
makes
joint.
sense,
I
yeah.
imagine you can get mushrooms and pizza sauce
pizza
on your
sauce.
steak
Sure,
hoagie.
if you want it.
You
can
can
get whatever
dip
the
it
hell
in
you
au
want.
jus.
Or
Is
mushrooms.
it dipped in
You
au
don't like
jus?
any of that. None of that
You don't
sauteed
dip that in
shit,
a
huh?
jus? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, Brent, it's not, if you've never had it, it's hard to really describe.
Au jus. Get out of here. You and
So
your
it's like a-
carving station.
Shut up.
All right, steak hoagie.
They don't have
Yeah,
steak
man.
hoagies at finishing school, Brent.
I'll go get that.
I'm looking at steak hoagie, and the first thing that pops up, Philly cheesesteak.
Cincinnati steak hoagie. Don't look
Okay.
at steak hoagie. Look at Cincinnati steak hoagie. It's a Cincinnati thing.
Where else would you get it from other than Mia's?
Everywhere in Cincinnati.
G-Max says Angelo's has really good
They
steak.
do. I've had Angelo's steak hoagies before. They are
Where
very
is
good.
that?
It's kind of it's a chain a little bit. They're like a small neighbor, like a lot of the smaller neighborhoods around town has an Angelo's.
Okay.
It's like you know what a chop, like kind of like the
Chopped
steak
cheese?
you would, like a steak you would use for like a chicken or like a chicken fried steak.
Oh,
A flank steak.
But except it's the shape of a hoagie bun. They put it on a hoagie bun. They put cheese and pizza sauce on top, and you can get
It's like a
onions,
steak
mushrooms.
cutlet, kind of.
Kind of.
Like
Yeah,
you know how they do the chicken cutlets, but like it's
Kind of.
steak.
yeah, but it's
Okay.
steak.
Very good.
Oh. Is it veal?
No, it's steak.
Okay.
It's not a veal hoagie. It's a fucking steak hoagie.
This is the dumbest conversation.
Is it the veal? Wouldn't have
Like
to
a
be.
veal parmesan or something.
I mean, Brent wants veal without jus over here. Ryan, just give me the
No.
mushrooms. I don't.
No. Okay. All right. Low Miller
Oh,
Real
he's gone.
Estate. BBP
He's gone.
mailbag. It's not a deep mailbag, so we can breeze through this.
It's
Aaron,
not.
give us the read.
The mailbag is brought to you by Low Miller Real Estate. Adrian L. Henson, that's Adrean L. Henson. She happens to be Chad's sister. Somehow they look nothing alike. You can reach her at 859-444-8159. Get your free home evaluations. You can reach her via email, ahenson@lowmillerrealestate, LOHMILLER, realestate.com, or at adrianlhenson@icloud.com.
Boom.
All right, mailbag is pretty light, as Brent alluded to. Apparently, you guys need 48 hours for a mailbag. Goodness.
Guys, we need more mailbag stuff. Help us out, please. This is a segment that is sponsored. Like, do your part. I promise to stop being as mean on the mailbag as I usually am. I promise.
Don't
The
believe
Reds
you.
lost.
They did.
It's
They
no
did?
surprise. It's the
Yeah,
Brewers.
they lost 3-2, walk off in the bottom of the ninth.
The Brewers have their number. All right. Starting in the football portion of the mailbag, I've been a big fan of the TBT. Super entertaining to watch former Bearcats compete again. If they had a similar tournament for football, who would be your starting 22 on the Nasty Natty Football Edition? Current Bearcats on NFL contracts are not eligible.
Starting
Oof.
22.
I don't think you would have 22. I think you would have to do arena.
It'd probably be
league
7
style.
on 7. It'd probably
Right.
7 on 7.
We could tap into the CFL.
Yeah.
No,
some guys
the
there.
CFL would be allowed. So I think Caleros would have to be your starting quarterback, right?
Yeah. Tell Hayden Moore to
yeah.
dust off that arm.
Yeah.
I mean, Caleros is the best player in the history of the CFL or whatever. Like he's the Tom Brady of the CFL.
Oh, yeah. I'm
But-
thinking Caleres, yeah.
Caleros would be your quarterback. Running back, Mike Boone, maybe? The most recent guy Mike Warren.
He's still in the
Mike
NFL.
Mark Warren, yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Warren. Go Mike Warren.
Or
running
Jared
back.
Dokes.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah. Tight end. Like the tight ends are on the NFL. Bruno would be your tight end.
Okay.
Yeah. Perry
Wide
would be a
receivers?
linebacker.
What's that?
Perry would be a linebacker. Joel
Mhm.
would be a linebacker.
For sure. Wide receivers would be, that's a tough one.
Lee Clemens would be another linebacker.
Yeah. Khalil Lewis, or not Khalil Lewis. Khalil Lewis had a nice little like run at hanging around in the NFL. Devin Gray had a nice run at hanging around in the NFL. Johnny Holton. Johnny's just fast.
Yep.
Would be an
fast.
option.
I'll take fast.
Mikhail McKay.
Oh, get a little height out there.
Cloud.
Offense would be fun.
Offense would be fun.
Aaron, I will remove you from this stream.
Get Marty Gilliard out there.
Adam, I don't know that they'll all stay in town. I would guess that they will. The TBT guys will stay in town for an extra week. Yeah, maybe they would. I don't know that they. I don't have a guarantee on that. Why are steak hoagies only a Cincinnati thing? I don't know. It's a goddamn shame that that's only a Cincinnati thing. They're delicious. Love a good steak hoagie. Back to the matter at hand. Defensive backs is really tough because before Fick, there weren't many defensive backs, and since Fick has got here, they're all in the NFL. Like, you would have to take Fick's backup DBs. Right, Ryan? What DBs would you take that didn't start and that are in the NFL?
I don't even know.
Right, they're all playing for a lot of money.
Yeah.
Wiggins.
Is he not on a team? Is he not in a camp?
I thought he was with the Chiefs.
He's not in the camp at all.
Is he on the Chiefs, you said?
I thought he was. I'm looking it up.
I mean, if he's not, then obviously Wig. But, I mean, most of those guys through that Fickle era for 5-6 years, all the DBs are in the NFL. Right. All the DBs that played are in the NFL. That's wild.
He's on the New Orleans Breakers in the USFL.
Okay.
As of May 30th.
So Wiggins would be one. Is he in a camp?
I think he was swooped up by the Seahawks, I think, right? But that might have just been for a rookie.
DB would be hard. Linebacker, I think we got. O-line and D-line, like I don't know. I don't know.
Get Jarrell White out there too at linebacker.
Yeah, Jarrell White at linebacker. For sure. You might even be able to get away with Jarrell at safety.
Get Jeff Luke out there just to scare people. Just
Joel.
Yeah. But yeah, Ryan mentioned Joel for sure.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Right. A lot of those.
Greg DeBlanco.
Get Greg out here.
Recently retired Derek Wolfe.
Oh. He's a wild man.
He killed a mountain lion.
With his bare hands.
Did boomers before every NFL game.
Went on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, I think you'd have to have him just as like a captain.
He's got some free time. I think he and the radio station he was working for just parted ways. So
maybe he can become a friend of the podcast. Aaron, you're the producer. Try to get some Derek Wolfe action on here.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
I'm sure he's easy to get a hold of.
Who are you? I'll hunt you down. Sorry.
Oh shit.
I didn't mean to.
There you go. That's the best I got.
That's pretty good.
Kevin Huber.
Sure.
Yeah. Throw him out there.
No, Jimmy Smith. Jimmy's younger. I'd take Jimmy.
Have one of them do one and one of them do the other. Anyway. And then Merck's apparently on this trivia kick. Who was the last specialist kicker punter to throw a pass? And who was the last specialist to complete a pass?
Jimmy Smith.
But he didn't throw it, actually. He ran it.
No, he ran it. He ran it, yeah.
But the pass option was there.
I don't know. I have no clue, Mark.
Yeah.
I have the answers.
Oh, you do? He gave them to you?
He sends them to me, yes.
Okay. Kicker. Specialist to throw a pass.
Andrew Gantz? I don't know.
Do you have
I
it?
guess it was Huber. Wow.
2008.
Okay. Did he pass and complete it?
No. Chet Irvin was the last to complete a pass.
Wow.
I don't even know who Chet Irvin is.
All right, then.
That's the football portion of the mailbag. Wrapping it up in 2 quick questions. Moving on to the basketball portion of the mailbag. Any updates on Bearcats Air? Funding still a major need?
No, that has been something so far. Wes has had it when he needed it. I haven't heard any complaints about Bearcat Air. I don't know. It's not something that's on my regular radar until it becomes if it's a problem. I generally will hear about it. Like, we don't have use of this and we need it. I've not heard but major funding still a major need always, because that's a reoccurring need. So if you have $1 million in the Bearcat Air Fund, and then they use Bearcat Air and they use $600,000, then you need that $600,000 to be replaced in the Bearcat Air Fund. So it's always a major need.
If you're hearing about it, Chad, it's probably too late.
Right. Or
reading this,
getting there, or getting close to too late. Sure.
Chet Irvin, by the way, 2002 to 2005.
You just pull a Drake album out on that quote, Brent?
Yeah, I did, man. And that was also 2002 to 2005. That was the transition year, from Conference USA to the Big East. So,
yeah.
All right. Do you guys think their play in the TBT could lead to NBA looks for guys like Jaren and Jake?
It's so late in the process for that. Probably no. Like, the summer league's already done. Like, the NBA's already gone through their process. But I do think there are probably a ton of like EuroLeague teams and things of that nature that are watching, or that have agents like connecting them to what's happening in the TBT, that could result in better overseas deals for these guys, or potentially G League. Like, if they want to stay and try to now work through the G League, which, as we have talked about, with the Exhibit 10 deals being more prominent and the two-way deals now being $500,000, like, it could help these guys, pad their way into some dollars.
There was one guy, if you remember, like, I think it was 2 years ago, he led his team to the TBT championship, and he did get an NBA contract out of it, but I think he ended up getting cut kind of pretty quick.
Yeah, like, that's a very, very, very needle in a haystack type thing.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Jimmer Fredette made a career out of the TBT, so
for the money team that was knocked off by Nasty Natty to start this run.
Nasty.
It was a way better name than his original team name, which was like
the Jimmers or
the
whatever.
Jimmers?
Like, yeah,
Team Fredette. Team Fredette.
Whatever.
I would have gone with the Jimmers.
We are the Jimmers.
The Jimmer. All right. Do we have a good chance with Jace Richardson?
I think ultimately this is going to be a 3-team race: Cincinnati, Alabama, and Michigan State. The difficult part in analyzing this is, if you're paying attention to recruiting, Alabama right now is kind of getting what they want. And it's not a surprise why. Nate Oates runs a system that is very guard friendly. You're going to get the ball. You're going to get to shoot a shit ton of shots, and your NIL check is going to be very fat. Wes is going to have to overcome that, I think, and beat out Alabama. Do I think he can do it? Yes. Do I feel good knowing Alabama's recent track record? Not great, because they're in basketball recruiting. They are doing an outstanding job landing the guards at the top of their board. So it's going to be a battle. We'll see how they, his relationship with Tyler McKinley. He's got a great relationship with Wes. I think Alabama and Cincinnati are more likely than Michigan State at this point. Michigan State, it's Izzo, so they could always close and make this thing interesting. If I had to pick, I would say Alabama 1, Cincinnati 1A. Prove to me that you can beat out Alabama on a kid that they really want at a guard spot, and then you're cooking with gas, because they're doing a phenomenal job recruiting guards. Nate Oates is. So that's kind of where my thought process is. You get him in here for that Oklahoma game. You show him a great time. You show him a huge crowd and Nipper at full throat. Maybe it helps you out, but that one's going to be look. Jace Richardson, as we saw at the Peach Jam, is a top 5 guard in the class. So it's going to be a slugfest to the day that he announces his commitment. But Cincinnati's right there, I think, in the top 2, 3 of that recruitment. So go get it done.
All right. That is the basketball portion of the mailbag.
Deep tonight. Very deep. Yeah, very deep.
Guys,
be better. Give us some questions, damn it.
The last portion of the mailbag,
good ones. The
banks.
Good, just not questions.
Rapid
to ask
fire.
Questions. Good ones.
Rapid fire. Best sub shop, i.e. Subway versus Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's. Period. End of story.
Mike's easy.
That's the best sub shop.
Does it have to be cold to be a sub?
I mean, Jersey Mike's does hot subs.
Okay, well then
And
I'm going
cold
Penn
subs.
Station.
I'm doing Jersey
Penn
Mike's.
Station is better.
Penn Station does especially the Penn Station in Kenwood, right by the radio station, is the best Penn Station on the planet. That Penn Station is fucking fire.
I mean, you're spending $22 a sandwich or whatever they're charging these days. So yeah, I mean, it better be good.
It's like $13.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. Giant 8 Jersey Mike's.
But here's Jersey Mike's thing. If you get the Italian at Jersey Mike's, there's so much meat on that thing, and it's so good that it's worth every penny that you pay for it.
One thing I appreciate about Jersey Mike's is they do cut the meat right there on the machine.
And the cheese, and you get it Mike's way. But the one thing that your boys Penn Station has is a better side option. Who doesn't like
the bread at Penn Station is just phenomenal.
So is Jersey Mike's for me. I love Jersey Mike's bread.
Yeah.
For their cold cuts.
Get Subway and Jimmy John's out of here.
Yeah.
Out of here.
The follow-up, best sandwich at Penn Station, and what do you get on it? For me, it's just the Philly cheesesteak with no banana peppers. But what? I do get onions and mushrooms and mayonnaise and cheese.
I get everything on it, and I think it's the best.
No tomato sauce for me.
So, let me tell you guys the hack. When I was like 16, I worked at a Penn Station.
Chad was too excited. He didn't even
hear
it.
I heard it. When I worked at Penn Station when I was like 16. The hack on your cheesesteak is ask for teriyaki, and they will put just a little bit of teriyaki when they're chopping it up and cooking it, and it gives you that salty teriyaki taste. Do it the way that you normally do it. However you normally do it, just ask for teriyaki, and it kicks it up even another notch.
Yeah. I really like the chicken parm there, too.
I don't. It's grilled. If I do a chicken parm, I know. Fried.
I liked it.
I'm just telling my personal preference. If I get chicken with marinara on it, I want crispy chicken, fried chicken.
The best chicken parm I had was the freaking place that you repped all the time that shut down.
Bread Bar. That's the best chicken parm sandwich ever on the history of the world.
What happened, man? I literally went there once, loved it, went to go back, it was closed down. I was like,
so something happened with like their ventilation system, and it was just too much to fix it. Like they didn't have the money to fix it, so they just shut down. Like that was the extent of it. Yeah. Like their HVAC went out and they couldn't afford to fix the HVAC, so they shut down a business that had been around for like 80 years. But their chicken parm, their spicy chicken parm at Bread Bar.
Well?
No, they were. I just think it was like HVAC in a place that big is really fucking expensive to fix. And they were like, yeah, we don't have, $50,000 or whatever it was to fix it. So they shut down. But that chicken parm, the spicy chicken parm at Bread Bar was the best chicken parm sandwich the world has ever known.
It was legit.
I'm glad you had it to vouch for me.
Yeah,
I didn't know about it. Dan Horde told me about it. This is the best chicken parm you're ever going to have. And I went there and I ate it. And I was like, Dan Horde is not only a legend of sports broadcasting, he's just a legend of humanity.
Oh, yeah.
So, Brent, what do you get on your best sandwich at Penn Station?
It was what you said, but take off the red sauce.
No one got red sauce.
It comes with it.
No.
A cheesesteak?
Yeah, there. They say you want marinara. I said no.
No,
No.
they ask if you want pizza sauce or mayonnaise.
Pizza sauce.
Always-
I don't
always
want any
mayonnaise.
pizza sauce.
No one does. You just get mayonnaise.
No one gets pizza sauce. Ever.
No one.
Okay, well, good to know because I asked what I wanted. I said I don't get it either.
All right. Well, no one mentioned tomato sauce or pizza. Anyway, mayonnaise instead of ketchup on a burger. Thoughts?
Depends on my day. You know what I normally do? My normal burger. If I'm making a burger at home, I do mayonnaise on the top bun, A1 sauce on the bottom bun.
Chad, you would have been impressed with what I put together Saturday for lunch. Freaking, they're like these 75-25
Nice.
beef patties, and they're kind of thick, but not too thick. And I cooked them on the stovetop, and just threw some butter down there, smashed them a little bit, but then I sauteed up some onions and jalapeno on the side, and fried an egg.
Onions, but yeah, with the egg, I'm down with. I love a fried egg on a burger.
Fried egg with American cheese, a little bit of guac, just a little bit, with a little bit of mayo, lettuce, tomato, onion. Oh, it was so good. Had that exploded the egg down on the burger.
You messed up going American instead of you should have gone pepper jack.
I know. I just love American on burgers. I couldn't
I mean, it's classic. It's classic.
Yeah. It's almost like it was invented for the burger because there's what.
I think it was like that's why that's how it became the American cheese.
The government cheese
on the burger. Yeah, it's government cheese. You put it on the burger.
Yeah, I'm with Royer though, man. I'm a mayo dude. Give me that mayo. But I do like to mix the mayo with the ketchup. If I'm at a barbecue, I'll mix those two. But mayo.
I want mayonnaise, ketchup, and mustard. Like, give me all three.
Yeah. You're creating your own damn sauce, baby. I like it.
All right, that's the mailbag. Get us out of here, Brent.
Well, hey, thanks, guys. Another great one, long, fun one. But hey, you know what? You gotta tip the cap to the TBT Nasty Natty squad. Guys, anything?
Well done, boys. Well fucking done. Cash, Kevin, Kane, Ansenberger, the whole team, Jake and Jaron, Troy,
honorary,
everybody. Well done.
Can I give a shout out as well to the old manager? Chad, do you know the old manager's name?
George. Oh yeah, George.
Oh yeah. I tell you what.
I love George.
Every good team needs a hype man. Every good team needs a hype man.
George was always the hype man. George is around for like 8 of Mick Cronin's years that you see.
Right.
George is always there. I love George. Like I love George. Like I would kiss George on the mouth. I love George. He's great. I love
11:25 p.m. on a Monday night. I love it. Yes, but yeah, no, I follow him. Dream Chaser, I believe, is his handle, and I follow him because he posts a lot of good things. And he is
that man loves UC on a level that most of us should aspire to.
He deserves to be in the shout outs. But hey, guys, we have nothing left. I know it's a late one, but you know, TBT, they're rolling. Nasty Natty will be back next Monday night, taking on the winner of whoever comes out of the Dayton Regional. So Dayton, we'll figure out what to do with all that. But a lot more excitement throughout this week as we inch closer and closer to football season. Of course, basketball season as well coming up. So stay locked in. BCJ will have it all. But no one has anything. Yeah.
I got to go to bed. We'll have a nightcap tomorrow.
There you
It's
go.
late. I got radio.
Yeah, this is the nightcap tied in with it. Yeah. But you know what?
Thanks to Galactic Fried Chicken.
Yes, thank you, Galactic. Yes, and thank you to Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Thank you to Quick Paper Supply. Thank you to Low Miller Real Estate. And of course for my guys, my pals, the squad, the crew, Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer. I am Brent Young. And again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!